Good morning, afternoon, and night, everyone around the world. Welcome to the Nico Morning Show, Season 9, Episode 4. Today, we are joined by the founders of a sister, Mr. Dijan and Nick. Welcome, guys, to the Nico Morning Show. Good morning to you. I think you are in a UK time zone, right? So it's morning for everyone, I guess, this time, right?
Yeah, it is. Good morning, everyone. Great to hear you.
Good morning, guys.
Glad to have you guys. And by the way, guys, this is a different day for our Nico Morning Show. What we usually do, it's because the last time I had an emergency surgery and we had to cancel it from my end. So I'm sorry about this one. But I'm happy to have you guys in the show. Welcome again. And maybe a small introduction and about you, Nick, and then Dijan, and personal background and what you guys are building about a sister.
Yeah, I can start here. So hi, everyone, once more. My name is Nick. I'm originally from Ukraine. My professional background was in consulting. So I was working as a product project manager on several big enterprise projects. So I cannot unfortunately name all of them, but basically my focus was on AI stack and also IoT stack. Then 2017, I switched fully to Web3 space, also as a product project manager, was building products in several different ecosystems. Then I ended up working as a head of ecosystem growth at DAP protocol. It was a protocol that for creator economy protocols that it was targeting substrate-based builders, which were thinking how to bridge some like different technology things from Polkadot to Near ecosystem. Everything was really good, but then happened like Luna crash, other things happen. So I just switched back to startup direction. So I was a co-founder of AI startup. We were automating sales function and also design function for small, medium businesses. And basically, I used to work on that project 2 years. We launched office in US, we launched office in Europe, hire people. Everything goes well till the moment of the war in Ukraine. I'm originally from Ukraine. One of my co-founder was from Barcelona, Spain. Another co-founder was from Russia. So as soon as the war started, everything really goes not as well, because like from personal perspective, I feel that somehow I still funding the situation, what happened, like the war, and somehow I don't want to be related there because my co-founder had another business in Russia. So we just split apart. Mm-hmm. And after that, I took a pause. I moved to UK. I studied here at Cambridge Judge Business School. And then I started thinking like, okay, I had this experience in Web3 space with onboarding developers, with providing support, with building ecosystem, but also I had a lot of experience already with R&D teams around AI use cases, how to use AI technology for business-specific use cases. And that's where we start building this DevRel automation tool, which was a sister initially. But as soon as we got to Outlier Venture Program, Acceleration Program, as soon as we iterated, start selling it, start generating revenue, we found that whatever we built for one single use case, it can be reused on a much bigger scale by many teams, many communities and people all around the world to launch and support their own specific business use case. So that's how we, my personal experience transit to something where we are now in terms of the team and directions that we are working on. And yeah, and Dijan, he also has amazing experience in Web3. I think he will go through it.
Yeah, so basically I can say that I'm also in the crypto space since 2017. In the last 20 years, I'm actually, let's say, the guy who likes programming different kinds of things. Let's say 15 years ago, I started with web development. Then I started my studies that ended with a bachelor degree in cloud infrastructure, I would say, then master's degree in distributed systems. After that, basically joined a company where I was outsourced towards Fortune 500 companies working for like sales, analytics, and improvements for example, Coca-Cola, Henkel, the bigger multinational companies. After that, started also the journey in Web3, which was mostly oriented towards like developing of protocols and smart contracts at the beginning, then team leading the teams that are working on payment systems integrations, different kinds of DeFi applications, and so on. And as I grew, also responsibilities grew. So I managed to come to the level of being a CTO. And basically, since that point, I have experience in 3 companies so far, where I was a CTO, and 2 companies when I was head of engineering or team lead. In the last 3 years, I can say that I switched also to AI, but I stayed in Web3. So actually, this intersection of Web3 and AI is something that I'm looking forward to, and that's where Assister is, and that's why I'm here with Nick to actually make our vision go forward and go to the moon, as we all like to say in Web3 community.
Wow, that's actually a very impressive background, guys. To be honest, really, really impressive. You usually don't have this impressive background with a lot of founders in the Web3, But glad you guys can bring your experience and expertise into the Web3. And to be honest, the Luna crash was very, very hard. Speaking of Luna, a bit of the topic. I lost most of my money in Luna. But yeah, now you guys are building a sister with this very impressive background. Obviously, you guys know what you are doing, and for the people who's watching here, I think people start coming in. Sundays too. It's a special episode today, guys, because of my situation last time. But maybe talk us or give us a little bit an introduction about a sister and what you guys are, building. What you are what is a sister in general?
Yeah, I can start here from a little bit describing the problem or challenges that we target as a team. And these problems that we found and see is basically that big tech companies that are running and working on the edge of the AI industry, they basically scrap all the internet data, all the data that belongs to humanity, like any of the listeners, anyone basically, and train the models. And after that, they are saying like, oh, $20 from you for using these models. And like in some way it's fair because it's entrepreneurship, like whoever create idea, he should be able to capture some value. But from other side, there is definitely something from us that we can potentially say like, hey, there is 0.1% of my data in that model. So I would love to get, as a data owner, some portion of reward or capture some value in this future created value. And it can be done, and like our team, we actually developed this trustworthy data provenance protocols that allowing right now anyone to submit some additional data set or feed data, and then specifically checked if this data was used by a specific AI model to provide responses to services for other people. And by having this protocol in place, anyone can be able to check if his data was used in specific model and get some portion of rewards in the future. So that's kind of a missing part that we're trying to build. And of course, we don't think that it's possible to integrate this approach to big AI companies because they don't have an incentive and they don't have any alignment around this, because why they should share anything with us if they can, like just say like, oh, it's publicly available data, like we don't own you anything. The opposite side, how we believe and like what we believe in, we believe that there is a data last mile challenge where all these big tech companies gonna start focusing on how to get up-to-date information faster from real data owners. That's why Quora deal happens. That's why Stack Exchange, Stack Overflow, like last week deal happened. So there was a lot of community noise about like why Stack Exchange not be monetizing community created content, but the real data owners, they cannot get anything from there. And that's kind of a thing that we're trying to fix and thinking about fixing about by building a stack around the sister. In more practical way, what it's allowing to do is basically we're allowing anyone to set up small language model. It's a model that is designed for solving one specific business issue or solving one specific task. So let's say marketing, development on Python, development on Near or whatever else. And then we're organizing a community of contributors who constantly feed additional data to a specific model data set. And this community became co-owners of this model. And later on, if this model would be earning money, monetizing itself, these people would be basically shareholders of this model and applications that would be built on top of each specific model. You can think about it as an app store, but with a community-owned small language models. That's what we're trying to achieve. Maybe Diane can add something if it has.
Well, looking from the technology side, usually when you look at the Web3 in general, it's about decentralization and democratization towards any kind of value. And in our case, that's data. And we can say that data is the new gold. So that means that we are seeing data as something that's going to have increasing value. And it always has the component of velocity, a component of veracity or trustworthiness. And it always has the component of how often it's going to be used, and also the value towards the owner. All of us have some kind of value in data that we are producing, but centralized entities are kind of, taking that data and having the profits based on it. So basically, right now we are on the verge of new paradigm, and that new paradigm has brought us to the higher levels of utilization of unstructured data processing. What does it mean? Usually, let's say since the 70s, we have came to the agreement that the tables are the ultimate level of data structuring, where we utilize Excels or SQL databases to structure the data. Now we are enabling that kind of access in a pretty simple prompt level access towards the textual data. So we, as Nick has said, we scrape the internet, we take the information from the internet, and somebody actually trains these models, spends some time, money, energy towards training them, but then they have an intellectual property in effectively having that those algorithms that are used to create foundational models. But also, on the other hand, how can we democratize this data access? On our premises, we are trying to achieve it through utilizing different means of decentralization. And in that context, basically having a small subject-oriented, purpose-driven small language models, we are going to run them in different kinds of places, but then anybody can actually come and create them. And if we have the creator level economy, that means that somebody else would come and use it. And that usage is going to be settled on in a Web3 level through tokenization. What does it effectively mean? It means that when somebody comes with certain request, he pays for that request. The tokens are also distributed to the people who are standing behind the creation of those models and the data behind those models. So effectively, it's going to be a solution that utilizes blockchain on one side and AI on the other.
That's pretty impressive, to be honest. And just to have an idea for someone here, we are talking about data as in all the data, the personal data of the users, like what we are talking about. For example, when you are using Google Chrome or when you are using a YouTube, that's the data we are preferring to, right?
So not only this one, so it's broader data. So it depends which use case community would be willing to build. So we're going to have three roles. Model creator, which basically set up in some specific model for a specific purpose or business need or specific domain expertise zone. It can be marketing or B2C marketing on Asia markets, or B2C or B2B marketing on China markets specifically, or whatever else. So it can be very specific and very niche model, but then people and community who owns any data related to this topic, they can feed it with additional information, with additional content, research, analytics, articles, tech documentation, papers, code base, if there is any. So it's and you just try to build all these Lego pieces into one big model that would be highly specialized and focused to solve one specific task. And then other people can reach out this model and use it for their specific needs. So let's say if you want to go and launch your product onto a China market, instead of using LLM or instead of using Google search and try to find a solution or build some marketing strategy, B2C marketing strategy for China for this specific product, you would reach out this one small language model. You would pay, I don't know, 5, 10, 100 tokens for usage of this model. And this token would be belonged and spread between a community of contributors who feeds this model with data. And depends like how much data you feed there, that would be some share of the profits from this model for you personally. So you can think about it, like there is a lot of productivity apps, there is a lot of applications that we are using on a daily basis as users through App Store or Google Play. So the same in next X amount of years, there would be just like millions of small language models and AI agents that we're going to be using as users, and who are going to be earning money from these agents and models. And one option can be the centralized players who train everything and trying to stick you to small language models from OpenAI, from Google, from other companies, Anthropic, and so on. Or it can be a community-owned small language models, which would be earning money, but also they would be sharing this money between those people who feed their data in.
That's actually really that's okay. There is a website that used as well that gives rewards for sharing your data. Not a website, I mean, what do you call that? A browser like a Chrome. I forget the name of that. You earn crypto rewards by using it and sharing your data, right? What was the name of this?
Brave, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, Brave browser. So you're basically like a Brave browser, but in a way, you're really not a browser. So you allow people to create a specific targeted an AI model, right? And then the users can join in that is related or feel that related to this and start sharing their data. In this way, you make sure that the user base as well are earning reward with the one who created it. Unlike the models we see right now, for example, in Google Chrome, or let's take a Google Chrome as a big example here because I think it's one of the biggest one. And even in your phone or Android, the permission we give, guys, when we use an application is insane. I don't think anyone have the time to actually read all the permission they are giving, especially when you are downloading an application in your phone. And I think one time I was talking with someone and he was like, dude, this application want to access your camera, your picture, your calendar, your contact, and it gets everything from you. And I was like, I started, like this obsession to look at every single application I download and see, wow, what data this guy takes and what permission they are asking from me. And I was like, in a certain way, in some application, I stopped using them because I was like, why you need access to my even microphone? So why do you need my camera access and all of that? And it's pretty. I don't think people think of it much because it's very famous. Like when we are just saying Google Chrome is like, oh, I'm safe, no worries there. But basically, what's happening, guys, is these companies are collecting all the data and then they are selling it for ads revenue. Which that's why when you are searching, for example, you want to buy a car, you will see hundreds of ads popping about cars, and then you will end up sharing your data for free, right? So there is also a video I watched 2 days ago where a guy was, I don't know if you see it, he was testing to make, he's trying to make a study and showing you as a proof that um, Google is actually listening. And he like opened a new browser and he was like talking about some certain topic for 30 minutes. And then literally when he opened his browser, he started getting these ads. So for all the normal people there are selling all the data, are giving all their data for free. You guys have an option for them to actually earn crypto rewards from it, right?
Yeah, so you see, you're telling right thing. So it's not about like, oh, we're gonna like compete and we want to destroy something. No, we want to provide an option, alternative. Like, and if the person or user has an alternative, like, okay, I can keep relying on this like well structured from UI UX perspective platforms, but I know that I'm sacrificing with my privacy, with my potential earn on my data, with many other some sort of Web2 risks. Or I have alternative Web3 way where I can use the same services, maybe a little bit worse UX, but we still improving UX UI in Web3 space. But then I'm gonna get some portion of rewards, and I can capture some portion of value created by platforms, by models, by applications that are gonna be using my data. And I think that's a fair game when we offer in this alternative, instead of when we're saying like, oh, we don't belong you, like we don't owe you anything because like we just were smart enough to scrap all the internet data, or we just give you some free option to upload your photos to some platform or whatever.
Yeah, sorry, my background is gonna be a little bit noisy for a minute. I do live in Jordan right now, so it's the prayer time, so it's gonna be blasting in the speakers. But yeah, I get your point. I mean, you are giving not only a better alternative and for people, normal people, to share rewards from their data or to earn money from their data, but you are actually also giving them an options to do it, right? So instead of someone is just giving it for free, like what the application is doing, and browser on whatsoever you are using, everything is all your data is collected, guys. Like, this is why I guess, and we'll talk about this one in a bit. This is why for people who's joined the Web3 in general, is what we are concerned about, our data. It's everywhere. Everything is leaked. Like, you are just giving your entire life, your personal beliefs and everything just for free, and for the company to read it and just sell it off, so you can get better ads, and for them getting better customer for other people. But you implemented that with an AI model, right? So um, talk with us about how did you think of the idea, like how did you guys had saw the problem, and obviously for a lot of people who like very knowledgeable about this, can see a big problem or this one. But how did you guys think of it? How did you come up with like an AI model that you can create, share the data and everything? By the way, hello little Nick in the background. Can you hear Nick, Dion?
I cannot hear Nick. Nick, turn on the mic.
Yeah, turn on the mic. Yeah.
But yeah, regarding the long-term vision, I want to add just one more stuff. So what we believe and like how we see the future, just imagine that in, I don't know, 2-3 years since now, we're gonna have well-matured personalized AI assistant, AI agents, where we're gonna be instruct them like, hey, I want to get this or I want to get that. And these small AI agents, they shouldn't be super smart, super intelligent to do on like everything on their own, but they should be smart enough to go to the open web and find the solutions that we need. So let's say, and which options they're gonna have. So basically, we're gonna have this agent or smart assistant. They would have 3 options. First option is to go to use Google search option, like Google, Yahoo, whatever else search engine exists there. But the incentive around the Google search and other search providers engines, they basically ad base. So whatever they would be offering you or me or anyone else or agent, it would be ad base. So there is some company who paid to Google to say that they are the best solution for your problem or for your request, which doesn't make sense, at least not every time, not all the time. And second part, they have, because of this model, they can offer you some solutions that are outdated already. So if you will say for your smart assistant, like I want to launch social debt on a blockchain in next that is trained on like last quarter data, so it should be relevant data from the last 3 months. and it would go to open web, to internet, and ask this question, it would be offering him some solutions that are outdated or just boosted because of the ad payment. Then second option for AI agent, it would be querying LLM and using like these big tech guys. And the problem there, they can offer you some solutions. There is no ad, at least right now, but they also have a ping in the training time, because train all the time LLM, it's quite expensive. So they are training on a yearly basis, maybe half-year basis. So you also wouldn't get some up-to-date information support, or your task wouldn't be executed with the best possible way. And then third option, and that's what we're trying to build with the sister, there would be hundreds or thousands different small language models from Near, from Solana, from Ethereum layer 2s, from any other protocols or any other ecosystems, and they would be offering like, okay, we have API call to build social dApp on a blockchain, and its amount of parameters. I don't know, here is the budget, here's the amount of users that I want to support, and anything else. And these small and language models, they would be competing with the bids and offering like, okay, I can do it for 5 tokens. This model can do it for 10 tokens. That model can do it for 20 tokens. And here is your quality expectations that we can guarantee from the model side. And this, your assistant, it will choose one of this model to execute his task, and assistant will transfer money to the model. And this community, which is behind each model, they would be sharing profits generated by this API execution calls. And there is like thousands or millions of such calls per day. So you can imagine how big the market can be and how big opportunity can be for people who would be choosing to contribute to a specific model.
Sorry, I had difficulty with with my webcam. I'm still here, but my webcam, I'll fix it later a bit. Good morning, Kate. How are you guys? But yeah, I understand it. And actually, it's very interesting what you guys are building. And you speak of a lot of other blockchains in there, right? So you're talking like Solana, Near. So how you are guys not yet in the testnet phase, right? So what blockchain you are working with currently? When you're gonna start your testnet, and what chain the testnet will be able to support?
I can add here that we started. We were a part of Near Horizon program, the first cohort. So we had really good relationship with the Near team. We also were just win a recent autonomous agent hackathon run by Near by Edge team over the East Denver, and we built the initial proof of concept of what we are building basically on Near and Polygon, because it was like basically a partnership that we were targeting initially. Right now, we're also collaborating with Solana ecosystem pretty good, and we also have good relationship with Monad. So Monad can be our EVM hub to get exposure to through EVM chains. So we're trying to combine best from several ecosystems. We don't have stickinesses to one ecosystem at this point of time, because we want to be ecosystem agnostic in some way, because we want to empower people to choose which base models they want to stick to, which service providers they want to stick to, and also like which reward distribution systems they also want to use by launching application, by launching small language models on our platform and using our infrastructure. So that's it. In terms of testnet, we actually gonna start it in 2 weeks, I believe, but it's gonna be a testnet with synthetic token, where we're gonna be rewarding people for using our live integration. So we have right now 16 live integration with different chains, where we providing support for developers on each of this chain. That's pretty it. So it's like we're gonna give this access to initial pool of 16, maybe up to 20 different applications and AI models that are already live, and we would be asking community to test it, play it, check if everything works, organize, invite other community members to join the ecosystem, because the next step for us would be to launch roles where people would be able to contribute data, launch their own small language models, or join as a validators and validate the quality of each model data set.
All right, I'm trying to fix my video. Okay, I'm switching to my laptop camera. It's a bit low quality, but at least it's not gonna keep disconnecting on me every once in a while. But yeah, I'm trying to use that tech where you can use your phone and stuff like this. But okay, I get it. So back to the AI models and the testnet. So you guys are gonna launch basically the testnet for certain companies, right? It's not gonna be like for normal users. For example, me, I wanna go there. I wanna create an AI model. I wanna do that. Will I be able to do this?
Yeah, you will be able. It's gonna be either end of next week or just like beginning of week after. So by the end of the May, we're gonna be launching this testnet, which would be available for average person to join and start supporting us into testing our products integrations and also testing this DevRel AI agents that we already have with different ecosystems. So that's our phase one, and there would be a phase two and phase three a little bit later. So yeah, but like you will definitely can join. You would also have your referral code that you would be able to build a community of other people who can join us as a data validators and data contributors. And as I mentioned, everyone would be able to earn this synthetics tokens initially, and later on we will think how to transform this into something interesting in Q3 when we expect to have token generation event.
I want to talk about the token, but before I start talking about the tokens, because that's a very interesting topic, and I think a lot of the community always get excited when they hear tokens and testnet. But the AI model, guys, the interface in general. For example, I want to go and create. Do you call it an AI model, right? Am I referring to it correctly?
Small
A
language.
So
small
I want
language
to,
model, yeah.
yeah, a small language model. So if I want to go and create a small language model, how easy the interface will be? Is it user friendly? Do the people need to have a background, a tech background to be able to operate it, or it's pretty easy, simple steps, that anyone can just go there and create one?
Basically, at the beginning, we are going to go with easy steps. That means we're going to provide some data. We are going to label it, vectorize it, and utilize it to either have a running that's done in RAG way or in fine-tuned way. Those are two ways. The RAG way is retrieval augmented generation. That is a concept that's usually used to avoid LLM hallucinations. Usually when you ask something towards ChatGPT, sometimes and also almost frequently, but they are improving, of course, you're not getting the results you're expecting. That's why we do the pre-search with the similarities in additional database that's called VectorDB, where we place all the knowledge to be there and not to be on the side of, let's say, large language models, and there could be multiple of them, let's say, at the beginning. And if you place it there, somebody searches, we find the similar answers, pack it up, ask for a summarization towards any kind of like foundational model, and get any kind of response. Fine-tuning would be something where you're adding an extra layers at the exit of the model in order to have it fine-tuned towards doing specific tasks. So those are two general use cases how we are doing those things. At the beginning, it's going to be, just placing the data, but then we are going to add interfaces for advanced users. So you can also come and say, okay, there are some stuff where I can fine tune it in my own way, do a RAG in a different way, and then just attach to Assistor's interface and have like your small language model available for everybody on our store. And also, if you want to sell it as a fractionally owned NFT towards the Assistor's marketplace. So those are kind of ideas we're having, where tokenomics-wise, it's going to be something like small language model, you own it, you have an NFT, you can sell half of it. If you're earning, then somebody else can earn half of the I would say earnings, and you would get the other half because you own half of NFT. So it's a yield-bearing, fractionally owned NFT, which might be a really interesting thing. At the beginning, as Nick has said, we are aiming for this DevRel use case, where developers are our target audience, and we already have a pretty good validation of this concept through exactly what Nick has said regarding the hackathon we won at ETH Denver, where we've targeted the use case of Stack Overflow. People are deleting their profiles for Stack Overflow in the last 10 days because they signed the contract with OpenAI, giving their data to the OpenAI, and then people won't benefit from it. What are you going to get? Just some badges, like, okay, you're the extra contributor to the Stack Overflow because you gave so many answers and you help people. Okay, pretty good validation from your side. But as people say, okay, every validation is good, but at the end, how much money am I getting, for being creative in giving answers? Oh, not that much, but I'm getting some kind of, reputation level side on some centralized platform somewhere where I don't have any value. So people want to have some kind of value extracted there. So what would they do? Give answers. And when they give answers towards these several questions, they are going to get some kind of rewards based on it. So this is kind of like, utilizing the tokenization and the centralization in a Web3 style in order to incentivize people to use our platform and to use the concept in a way that their creation is actually being rewarded. So that's it.
Okay, speaking of transparency, I am generally curious. With all the data that will be going into your small AI models, will a sister have a backup of all the data is going there? Will your company be able to also get this data and use it for bigger companies that might help to give extra revenue for the company, or is the data set to private for each small model?
Well, basically, if somebody who is creating a model says that it wants to be the private thing, he can do it, if we provide him the interface to do it. But our means where the data comes and basically, somebody contributed to the knowledge and it can be seen in a decentralized public profile. Okay, he has given these answers. You could see that these answers are used to train the model further on down the stream. Basically, his answers are used in the inference when you're asking the model about something, So people are having benefit from those questions, everything would be transparent in that means. At the beginning, basically, we are utilizing the public data that projects are offering in their Gitbook pages. What does it mean? Usually projects are having this developers documentation. Usually when you come to Solana page, Monad page, doesn't matter. You have like 4 developers, you click and you get some kind of like documentation for developers. So right now, what we're trying to do, we are trying to give the community also the recognition for enhancing the documentation about certain technology. And that use case is a pretty good one because basically developers are benefiting because they are building something new on top of some technology. So they can do it more efficiently by having straightforward answers. So that's a pretty neat and straightforward use case. So we're utilizing already existing public data. In the future, if somebody wants to make it privately, we are not going to encourage it, but if we provide interface for him to keep it, hidden, we cannot do much about it. But we can, for example, say or notify others that this information is being kept private. So at the end, you would be utilizing, let's say, the ones that are publicly available where you can have the overview of full underlying data. And if somebody scrapes that data and sells it on open market, well, that's already a public data, But then, you have this connection. Somebody has contributed to that data, and utilization of the model is going to be, the inference is going to be paid, and that connection is, you're going to get rewarded towards it. So that's kind of the deal what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I just can add here a little bit from like ideological perspective. We definitely don't want to have any deals with big tech guys who can come and say oh, X amount of money we want to get your data into our models, feed it, use it, and so on. So I don't think that's something that can happen. The only exception can be as soon as we're going to have a DAO structure, the community behind each model can take this decision on its own, and that would be additional revenue stream for each specific model creator, but not for us as an ecosystem where we are saying like, hey, you already gave us this money, this data, like now we're gonna monetize it on our own. No, like that's the whole principle and ground idea, that the data owners, this should be people or community organizations that are gonna capture at least 80% of the value created by using these models, by running these models, supporting these models, and so on.
Very interesting. I was curious actually to know about this one. But speaking of incentives, and we talked a lot about the token and token rewards. So you're gonna launch your own token basically, and that will act as the reward system or the payout system, right, for the users. With the new SEC regulation, launching a token right now, it's pretty difficult. Do you think this is gonna this is gonna affect you in a way of delaying, for example, the token launch? Do you guys think you're gonna have an issue with this since with all the regulation lately? What's your plan with that, guys?
I don't think that it would affect us dramatically. So it's like we're not doing anything that doesn't lays down in normal regulation framework. So we can go with this. We are right now registered as a UK-based company. In UK, the laws about the crypto like kind of getting much better than in the US and even in Europe lately. So we expect to keep running the company and entity from UK at least nearest times. Then later on for token launch, there would be additional setup, like legal setup to make it possible. And the same from fundraising perspective. So right now we are fundraising our pre-seed round specifically for UK entity, and it goes well. So we already secured angel round. Right now we're actively closing pre-seed round. And with that, there is no problem at all. While with token-based raising, there would be additional round for additional entity to avoid this uncertainty and risk related to token launch. And yeah, like I don't think that it would dramatically affect it. The regulation getting worse and more complicated in terms of generally. However, we see that like it's also a way to avoid some really scammy project getting to the market and rugging people, which makes sense because if you're building a strong company for years and tens of years, and you want to build it really strong and backed by real community of people, not just speculators, it's worse to have this like extra overhead, but ensures that everything is in place and you just can execute your vision as you want.
To be honest, yesterday when I was reading about this one, I was doing some little of background, before the show, and I was like, yeah. So I was reading through it, and I was actually very impressed. By the way, the website, guys, the design wise, it's very elegant. I like it. Very nice. Everything you need is in there. Very easy. So well done in this part. Uh, the thing is, for people, guys, you need to understand one thing here. Okay, this is a chance for you to actually earn something from your data rather than giving it for free. And for a sister, I think I see big companies gonna like, if we are talking about scalability in the 5-10 years from now, with all your small AI model, and then thinking of big companies that earns a lot of revenue just by sharing user data, yours have, is going to be in a way a better competitive for websites, because rather than paying to get the entire data, they can like literally target specific things based on what you guys have in the website, right? So I can, for example, if I'm searching about the crypto market, or I want something in related to, let's say, data about near protocol, and I will look there at the small AI models, and I will see, okay, there's a near protocol here. This is related to the topic I want. I will pay for this part only, and then I get the data I want. So is there any plan to scale it more with Web2 companies? Talking like, for example, big companies like Facebook, which use all of your data. I don't know, man. They know more about my life than I know about myself, to be honest. Facebook, like literally, like if you watch, it's crazy. Like if I search up, like if I click multiple ads, like for example, cars. If I click like a 2, 3 car post, my entire marketplace is cars. Like literally, it's crazy how actually fast it is also in recognizing what you actually want. So every time I'm thinking of something, I can see it right there, like they are promoting it, and not only like by the ads only, but they start forwarding you to pages, people, communities that is targeted to this car enthusiasts, mechanics. I'm not kidding. I was looking at cars lately. So what's your plan for the future in terms of scalability, merging the Web 2 and Web 3 together? I think this is very, very important, and the question maybe is getting too long, but I'm trying to gather my thought in it. Is that Web 3 for now? Okay, we are talking about the time. It's not as much as scalable in terms of the things we want as Web 2s. So
Mhm.
getting people from Web 2 to Web 3, this is an entire very lengthy process, and it's not easy to do it. But do you
Yeah.
guys have vision on like merging this Web 2, Web 3 together, getting companies to try to look at crypto reward as not a scam, because that's a lot of what Web 2 people likes to call it. That, oh, what I want from crypto.
Yeah, I would say that, you see, we're building AI first company that is empowered by crypto, but not Web3 first company empowered by AI. So, and like by having this in place, it's already changed a lot, because we're gonna use Web3 incentive mechanism to incentivize initial group of community to come and start launching their own specific use cases. Because what we want to achieve, we want to basically do user testing or product testing with, instead of like, our team can run 1 or 2 or 3 hypotheses per year, like based on our skills, based on our backgrounds, based on our capability and available resources. But as soon as we will provide infrastructure and we will incentivize tens or hundreds of thousand people all around the world with different backgrounds, with different expertise, with different data sets that they own, to come to the platform and run the specific use case, and then bring their communities, friends, and people to start using, playing with this, trying to monetize. We will collect a lot of data, and practically we will get many thousands of this like hypothesis tests in parallel. And that's where we expect to find maybe 5, maybe 10 niche, maybe 20 that are most interested for us as a company in the future, to keep running it, to keep incentivizing people to join. Because there is, like, first, there is clear value for end users. There is opportunity
Yeah.
to earn for us, people who join, who build this application. And in fact, we want to create this marketplace with applications, but instead of application, we're going to have the small language models. And if we will succeed with this, I believe it's like, based on Bloomberg estimations, there is like interesting data. They evaluate opportunity of application as $358 billion. So it's like, you can imagine, it's more than App Store marketplace right now. So it's
Yeah.
like, if anyone joins the early days, or like, just imagine you have opportunity 20 years ago or 15 years ago, join App Store marketplace and choose the niche, whatever you know right now that's going to be booming in the future. That's what we're trying to achieve with the system right now, by giving instruments, giving right tools for people to just took your data that already belongs to, or maybe you're working with this data on a regular basis, train specific model, invite other people to contribute data, and start monetizing it. That's how simple we see it. Of course, there's a lot of technical overheads that Diane is trying to deal with the basis, but from logical perspective, it's going to be huge. And also it's very organic part of the whole market, as I was explaining to you, because we can offer better and faster solution for any task instead of LLMs, which are too general, too good and bad in everything. So we don't believe that it makes sense for anyone to use LLM if you want to solve specific issue or specific challenge, because it would give you, like it can generate poems, articles, like whatever else. So it's more instrument for fun and also demonstrates the technology capabilities, but it's not instrument to really work with it on a daily basis. And our small language models is basically instrument to use.
Yeah, to be honest, obviously, guys, you two are like really, really smart. For even we have something we say in the Middle East. We say you hit two birds with one stone, right? So you got the most talked part, I think, in terms of like Web3 and decentralization, which is data. And then you get the hottest thing is crypto right now, which is an AI. And you build a product that can be used by so many people in a way they can earn an extra revenue for the free data that they are already giving it for free to other companies. So it's very smart, to be honest. And talking with you guys, I always felt that I'm a bit smart, but damn, this is really good, and I will definitely use it. I will really definitely use it. But we are at 52-minute, guys, here, and we are, almost at the 1 hour mark. But I still want to go through a couple of things. Okay, so just to highlight, guys, a little bit or a TLDR, you will be able to use the testnet, which is launching soon, I believe, and you will be earning some sort of like a some sort of point system. Let's say it's not a point system, right? It's like free
It's
token.
synthetic
Later
token.
on, they will synthetic, yeah. So they can convert it later on to a token, the real one, once the token is ready out. So if you participated in the testnet, you'll be able to basically, farm these tokens, give a feedback about it. This is actually, I know a lot of people here are actually. I was talking with King before the show come about testnets and token rewards, but that's answer the tokens rewards, guys. If you want, to test it out, so in a way you also give a feedback about it. But don't take my words for granted. You can go to the site and see it yourself. The site is pretty cool, as I said, and. Just to finalize things up here, what is okay? So I can see in the website Quarter 2 is the testnet, 100 AI agent, and the contributor programs. Where we are right now in terms of development, and what you are guys the most excited about to reach in terms of development in the near future.
Okay,
I can just from product perspective, and Diane will add from technical perspective. Like from product perspective, we have end-to-end infrastructure for launching and supporting one single use case around development relationship agents. So that's already done and that's working, and that's where we onboard in this first 100 clients, and we already generating revenue. Our goal would be to get maybe million plus in revenue by the end of this year. Right now we are at 100K ARR. Which is pretty cool for early stage company to get it super fast and so on. And from other product components, we in 1-2 weeks from launching basically first version of our marketplace, and also we're 1 week from launching this community incentive program where users would be able to join as community data contributors, data validators, or they will also have opportunity to mark that, oh, we want to launch this type of small language model based on this type of data. So we would be able to evaluate which domain zones are most interested for us and where we have the most feedback from community as well. And there is tons of work on the token side, on the technology side, and Jan can tell a little bit more about this.
Well, shortly, since we are running out of time, basically it's a concept where right now we are focusing on extracting the best way to label the publicly available data. And right now we have managed to come to the level of optimization towards like scraping and getting the data about development relations, or like technical data about projects, SDKs, APIs, anything, And right now we are creating models based on it. Right now, the next step is on-chain architecture. So how it's going to look like? Most probably, you mentioned the problem of scalability. AI is about data. Blockchain is about the marks of where that data is and to whom it belongs, So altogether, right now we're trying to achieve this concept where, let's say, the voting towards the data quality is going to happen on some kind of app chain. And basically, that kind of votes are going to be settled on L1. L1 is going to be Solana at the beginning. We are planning to go towards multi-chain ecosystem with both Solana-based ecosystem and then EVM systems through Monad, as Nick has mentioned. And at the beginning, we are going to have, let's say, our own platform and our own synthetic token in our build assister AI incentive concept. And basically, at the future, we are also planning to utilize Near because they are also one of our clients and partners. And right now, this multi-chain ecosystem and our own app chain are going to communicate in, let's say, multi-chain fashion with the bridging that's going to be done in order to have interoperability between them. And right now, this kind of concept is going to I would say, be more interoperable and more open towards any kind of data coming and any kind of use case. So that's kind of our vision.
To be honest, guys, once you launch your testnet, I want you to reach out to me, and maybe we can do something with Nico community as well, because I am very interested, and I know, oh my God, Nono would love this product. I swear Nono is gonna love it. Unfortunately, it's Sunday and he cannot be here. So, guys, by the way, just the final step here, and I wanted to talk about it long time ago, but uh, kind of moderating, chatting, and interviewing at the same time. So I'm multitasking everything now. But you mentioned that you guys won a hackathon before, right? You wanna talk with us more about the hackathons you guys were in? Near Horizon as well. I think you mentioned as well in the chat, and give us more idea about this one?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can add about the New Horizon. Just about New Horizon, I will start, and then about the hackathon itself, it's you can I will pass to you. So about the New Horizon, it's an amazing program for early stage founders, designed by Near Foundation and like Near folks in general. So we got a lot of support. It was mid of bear market, which was more complicated than right now. So right now I know that they are running new programs. So whoever is in Near ecosystem or think to build something in Near ecosystem, it's worth reach out, guys. You can reach out to me personally on Twitter or LinkedIn or X or Telegram, and I also can introduce you to the team as well. So we got a lot of support in terms of introduction, in terms of go-to-market strategy, how we can design different things, and also there was a lot of feedback loop from different experts from the Near ecosystem and outside of the Near ecosystem, which was great. And right now I know that they are like accept an application for third cohort of the projects, and second cohort of the projects they basically release at the bull market, which I really think that they are more blessed than we are in terms of timing, because we had this like tough times when we were building since end of 2022, and like when you're building over the bear market, when
I can relate to that. Yeah.
And you're trying to pitch your idea, you're trying to present somewhere, and even to Web3 investors, and they are saying like, "Oh, crypto is dead." Like, guys, you need to go away and start working on something different. So it's like that's kind of a time when we were working all the last year. But right now, it's amazing. Like people who think and considering to start building definitely use New Horizon program or anything that is available around yourself, because the support from communities, it's huge, and like you can be very big part of the ecosystem and deliver something valuable for users. And hackathon, it was amazing experience in Denver. Diane, would you love to go through it?
Yeah, definitely. So like before hackathon, we actually used all the NEAR documentation and label it in order to have like this autonomous agent towards like developers who are working within the ecosystem. And actually it happened during the beginning of March, even before this signature of like OpenAI and Stack Overflow towards sharing data of the developers. So basically we made the system where our idea was, okay, you come, you verify your profile on Stack Overflow as a developer on our system, and then you attach your own wallet on Polygon. At that point, we build it on Polygon, and you sign certain transactions. And that means at that point, we are kind of like verifying that your wallet is attached to your profile, which is attached to your reputation on Stack Overflow, and reputation on subforum of NEAR on Stack Overflow. So that means we try to enforce or like encourage the developers to give as much as answers that they can. And we created a means where if we find that data really good, we take it, we train a model based on it, but then we reward you with some amount of tokens. And since it was a hackathon, we built a proof of concept that worked on Polygon Mumbai testnet and worked with NEAR's subforum Stack Overflow. And altogether, we created a, let's say, multi-chain solution that has small AI elements all together, that has its own, like means for, having an AI agent where you can question or talk to a bunch of developers that are posting the answers about NEAR on Stack Overflow. And this kind of incentivization turned out to be a really good use case, because right now, basically everybody's talking about it. And we actually won a reward. And at this occasion, I would like to mention two guys that work with me, focusing only on this implementation for 2 weeks. Those are Marian and Artem. If they are going to listen to this show, hi guys, really good work.
All right, guys, we are at 1 hour mark here. Nick, Dian, I think, I hope I'm spelling your name correctly, man. But thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed this episode. To be honest, I got a lot of information. It's nice to talk with bright people and with an amazing product. To be honest, because lately I was like talking the last time with Nona, and I was like, okay, the product we have right now, we need something different. We need something new. And the product, you guys, I'm pretty impressed. Generally, like I'm really impressed with what your guys building, and I really love the idea. So, for sure, I wanna work something out with you guys later on with the community. So reach out to me. You know, I have DMs already with Nick. But yeah, any final statement, guys? Where you're active mostly? What community you guys are? Telegram, Discord thing? Where do you guys people can join, be part of the community, learn more about it, be updated with all the news, and all of that? Closing statement from you guys.
Yeah, whoever listening us here, definitely follow us on X. We have very active Discord community. We have also new statement channel on Telegram, and we're gonna like massively grow in community over the next couple months. We also got amazing support from Marketing DAO, NEAR Marketing DAO. And right now we're boosting all these communicational channels. We're actively working on influencer side on CE region in Europe. We're also gonna working on Asia region, on Latin America region. So we're gonna get exposure, and we expect to have exposure on different regional markets, because we believe that the access to the platform and ecosystems that we are building should be present everywhere equally. And also, yeah, like whoever wants to join, we are running ambassador campaigns. We just closed second ambassador group right now. So we're going to have approximately 50 people right now on our side as ambassadors. Whoever wants to join, you are welcome. There would be a third wave, and after that we will start like massive community campaign as well. Yeah, that's pretty it. Thanks for inviting us. Really great to chat with you. Thanks everyone who joined us and listen all this 1 hour and 5 minutes. I hope it was interesting, and would love to see you as a part of our community.
By the way, guys, the ambassador program, I wanted to mention this and I completely forgot about it. But ambassador program, I know a lot of you here help out as well with threads, TLDR, and cutting. So ambassador program is a great way to start your Web3 work journey. This is where I started, and now I'm a core team in Nico as well in Jump DeFi. And you know, you learn a lot from the ambassador program. So if you guys feel free, I don't know, Nick, if you have a link, we can link it maybe real fast here for the guys to apply for the ambassador program or join their Discord, guys. Literally, the QR code is just down here. You can scan the QR code if you're watching from a PC or a screen, or you can click on the link in the chat, and yeah, you can start you know, your Web3 work journey from ambassador program. This is where I started. This is where Noah started as well. But guys, again, I really want to work with you guys in the future for other thing. And by the way, guys, we have a puzzle specifically related to today episode. I'm gonna share this puzzle on X. I'm gonna tweet about it after this show, and I will send it to you, Nick. By the way, if you wanna share it with your community, I was thinking the first three people who solve it, I don't know, 60,000 Nico token, I guess, in reward, 100,000. I don't know. I will think of something in the reward while I'm writing the tweet, guys. Okay, but the puzzle is made specifically for a sister. It's a new thing, you know. So we will test it with a sister. Feel free also to share it with the community. Dian or Dijan, do you have any final words, final statement?
Well, the only thing I can say, let's go towards like a future where we would enable the people to have creators economy, to have decentralized systems done in a way where all of us feel that their contribution is valuable.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I would, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Just one more sentence. Like, really, it's important. I do not know your age, like whoever we're going to be listening on averagely, but I remember when the data importance and data ownership topics, they just appear somewhere in early 2010s, you know, like at least in my circles.
Yeah.
And initially it was some stuff like for freaks, or like some stuff for like nerds and so on. And right now everyone is talking about like data ownership. It matters. Your data matters. It's worth something, you know. It can be just get for free. So it's really valuable. Don't think that it doesn't matter, because you can monetize hugely, and if you are not doing it, someone will do it. So that's pretty it. Think twice what you're doing with the data, guys.
Exactly. You are sharing your data anyway, guys. So why don't you earn money from it, you know? But guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, community, we're gonna end the show. We will pick the winners, and Kingun is gonna draw the winners from the wheel for everyone who was live with us. We're gonna post it in Discord, and I will post the puzzle on Twitter tweet right after the show. But Nick, Dian, thank you so much. Very interesting product, to be honest, that you are bringing there. A fresh, nice idea. Really enjoyed the episode with you guys, and I hope we work on something else in the near future. Our viewers, thank you so much for joining on Sunday. I know we are a bit in the low side, that we have 97 people watching right now. So wherever you are watching from, thank you so much for joining the Nico Morning Show on Sunday, and we'll see you again, guys, next time.